Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark's 2025 royal wedding in Copenhagen. It finally happened. Spain's future queen. Denmark's beloved prince. Two nations. One love story. But no one expected this. A royal wedding that almost didn't happen. Until love defied tradition, politics, and fear. This is the untold story of Princess Leonor and Prince Christian's royal wedding in Copenhagen. For months, Europe had been buzzing with speculation. Was Princess Leonor truly in love with Prince Christian? Or was it, as many tabloids whispered, a royal arrangement, a political bond between two ancient monarchies seeking stability in a changing world? But the truth was far more human, far more fragile. Leonor de Bourbon-Ortiz, heir to the Spanish throne, had met Prince Christian of Denmark years before, during a discreet royal summer event in Oslo. They were both teenagers. Reserved, bound by duty, not desire. But fate has a way of weaving stories no crown can predict. What began as polite conversation over formal dinners turned into long letters, late-night calls, and finally, a friendship that blossomed into a quiet, forbidden love. Yet, neither family dared to acknowledge it. Spain feared political backlash. Denmark worried about the pressures of uniting two dynasties across cultures, languages, and faith. So for years, Leonor and Christian's love existed only in whispers. Until 2025, on a crisp January morning, the Spanish royal household released an unexpected communiqué. Her Royal Highness, Princess Leonor de Bourbon-Ortiz, is engaged to His Royal Highness, Prince Christian of Denmark. Those words shattered Europe's calm like a storm through crystal glass. In Spain, church bells rang across Madrid. Crowds gathered outside the royal palace. In Denmark, the people celebrated with quiet joy, the reserved Danish way, flowers laid outside Amalienborg Palace. But behind the grandeur, there was tension. Queen Letizia, ever the protective mother, had long been cautious about her daughter's path. King Felipe VI saw the union as a bridge, a diplomatic miracle. Meanwhile, Denmark's Queen Mary, herself an outsider who married into royalty, felt both joy and apprehension. Would her son face the same pressures she once endured? And so began the delicate dance of two royal families, each guarding their pride, yet united by the young couple's unwavering love. Copenhagen had seen royal weddings before, but never one like this. Flags of red and yellow fluttered alongside Denmark's white cross on red. Every street shimmered with anticipation. Hotels were fully booked. Designers from across Europe arrived to dress nobles, ambassadors, and world leaders. Inside the Amalienborg Palace, preparations were meticulous. Christian's younger siblings, Isabella, Vincent, and Josephine, were given roles in the ceremony. From Spain, Sofia, Leonor's younger sister, rehearsed her part as maid of honor with visible pride. The city buzzed with gossip. Would Leonor wear a Spanish designer, or a Danish couturier? Would the ceremony blend Catholic and Lutheran traditions? Who would attend, from the Windsors in the UK, to the Norwegian and Swedish royals? The wedding had become more than a celebration, it was a statement. A new Europe, a new generation of royalty. But behind the rehearsals and protocol, Leonor and Christian had one shared wish. That their wedding not be about nations, but about them. The night before the ceremony, the two families gathered for a private dinner at Fredensborg Palace. It was meant to be calm, intimate. But even in the soft glow of chandeliers, tension lingered. Rumors of political protests in Madrid had reached the royal households. Republican voices in Spain decried the cost of the wedding. Meanwhile, the Danish press speculated whether Leonor would eventually move permanently to Denmark, or whether Christian would one day share the Spanish throne beside her. In the quiet of her chambers, Leonor looked out at the moonlit palace gardens. Her diary lay open, her pen trembled. Was she ready, not just to marry, but to lead, to carry two nations in her heart? At the same time, across the courtyard, Christian spoke privately with his mother. Mary placed a hand on his shoulder, whispering words only a queen who'd lived the fairy tale could say. Love her as a man, not as a prince. The crown will test you both, but love will keep you human. April 12, 2025. A date now etched into royal history. As dawn broke over Copenhagen, the city was already alive. Church bells echoed through the harbor. Crowds lined the cobblestone streets, waving Spanish and Danish flags. In her suite at Christianborg Palace, Leonor was a vision of serenity. Her gown, crafted by Spanish designer Lorenzo Caprile, was breathtaking. A delicate blend of Spanish silk and Danish lace, symbolizing the unity of two cultures. The tiara, the same diamond diadem her mother, Queen Letizia, wore at her own wedding, now passed down with love. In her bouquet, olive branches from Spain and lilies from Denmark. Across the city, Christian stood in the palace courtyard, dressed in the dark navy uniform of the Danish Royal Guard, adorned with Spanish insignia, a gesture of unity. As he adjusted his cuffs, his father, Crown Prince Frederick, smiled and said softly, "She will make you a better man." At noon, the grand doors of Copenhagen Cathedral opened, and the world held its breath. Leonor stepped forward, every camera capturing the moment. The organ thundered softly. Her father, King Felipe, led her down the aisle, his eyes glistening with pride. The world watched, Spain's future queen walking toward Denmark's future king. When their eyes met, the weight of duty melted. Only love remained. The archbishop began the vows, alternating between Spanish and Danish. Every phrase carried symbolic weight: unity, faith, peace, devotion. When Leonor spoke her vows, her voice trembled. "Christian, I offer you not just my heart, but my trust, my loyalty, and my strength. May our love be the bridge between our worlds." Christian's reply drew tears even from the most stoic diplomats. "Leonor, you are my compass, my courage, and my calm. In every storm, I will find you." And when they exchanged rings, crafted from gold mined in both nations, the cathedral erupted in applause. The choir sang. Bells rang. It was no longer two kingdoms, it was one heartbeat. Hours later, the newlyweds appeared on the balcony of Amalienborg Palace. A sea of people stretched as far as the eye could see. Flags, flowers, tears. As they kissed, confetti rained down like snow. For one perfect moment, time stood still. Spain and Denmark were united not by treaty or politics, but by love. Behind them, their families looked on, smiling, some wiping away tears. Queen Letizia and Queen Mary exchanged a knowing glance, two mothers who'd watched their children defy fear, tradition, and distance to find happiness. The royal banquet was held at Christianborg Palace's Great Hall. Crystal chandeliers shimmered above 400 guests. World leaders, nobles, and royals from every corner of Europe filled the room. But amid the speeches and formal toasts, it was the quiet moments that mattered most. Leonor dancing with her father for the first time as a bride. Christian laughing with his sister Isabella. And later, the couple slipping away to the palace gardens, just the two of them beneath the stars. They spoke of the future. Of balancing duty and love. Of visiting Spain often. Of one day raising children who understood both worlds. In Madrid, celebrations continued through the night. People danced in Puerta del Sol, waving Spanish and Danish flags together. In Copenhagen, fireworks lit up the sky. The royal family waved from the palace balcony, their smiles radiant. Social media exploded, billions of views, millions of messages of love. The wedding wasn't just a royal event, it was a reminder that love, even among those born to rule, remains the most human of all emotions. The next morning, newspapers around the world carried the same headline. Love unites Europe, the royal wedding of Princess Leonor and Prince Christian. But beyond the glittering photos and televised moments lay something deeper, a symbol of modern royalty. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian had shown the world that love could thrive even within tradition. That the next generation of royals could lead not with power, but with empathy, humility, and grace. As they departed for their honeymoon in the Danish countryside, the world sighed with collective warmth. Two young hearts, two nations, one promise, to walk through history, hand in hand. And though the tiaras and titles will one day pass, the memory of that wedding in Copenhagen, of a love that bridged nations, will echo in Europe's heart for generations to come. In a world often divided by politics and pride, love found a way to unite two kingdoms. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian didn't just make history. They became history.